Matt, it's always a funny kind of period during the autumn internationals, but life doesn't stop at the Ospreys. Obviously, you go to Leinster away on Friday. It's going to be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, we've obviously had quite a nice break. So players have had a week off. Come in last week and did a week of training, so we've had a good long build-up. And it's obviously the fourth autumn international game, so it has been nice to have some time with this group of players. This obviously we lost, I think it was 11 to Wales, but that always gives someone else an opportunity. So you know, we've seen definite improvement in the squad. So looking forward to going over to Dublin.
Especially in the regions, everyone talks about, you know, them being depleted when Wales make the calls, but for you, it's an opportunity. Yeah,
and look, it's the same with every team in this competition. Obviously, none more so than Leinster. They lose, I think, 18, 19 players, but what they have got is a very deep squad. Ours probably at the moment hasn't got that depth, but as I said, what we found over the last couple of weeks, obviously Glasgow was disappointing, but Connacht a very good result. Is we've seen some growth in the players. It's given us opportunities to play some of the players that hadn't had much rugby, but also to blood some youngsters like Harry Morgan and Tian, and you know, it's invaluable, that kind of experience.
Yeah, looking ahead to Friday, obviously they will be depleted as well after, you know, especially after the win on the weekend. I think the whole of Ireland will still be rocking. Yeah. But obviously a big challenge for the Ospreys.
Yeah, let's hope they got a little bit of a hangover from the weekend. But look, I've played against Leinster side, coached against them for years now. You never come up against the poor Leinster side. They're got a huge depth in their squad. They've got a very, very good academy system. They've got some excellent schools in their school system, and there's a conveyor belt of talent there, it seems. So whenever you play Leinster, it's always a tough game, regardless of who's got the shirt on, because they're a well coached side. Plus, as I said, they've got good depth.
Looking ahead, injuries wise, how are you looking?
Yeah, we're pretty good, to be honest. Obviously, we've had a few people return of late. Keelan Giles has come back in the last couple of weeks, and you know, took off kind of where he left off obviously at the start of last year, the season before. Sam Cross is back from injury, which is another big bonus. Add some competition in the back row, so we're in a pretty healthy spot.
And how's Scott Williams looking?
Pretty dodgy with his moustache. He looks pretty creepy, but he's looking in terms of his fitness. He's not ready for this week, but he's pretty close. He's the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, your boss Alan did an interview with the Ospreys camera saying it's a busy period for you coming up, and obviously Glasgow up there, and it's almost a chasing pack. How are the squad feeling about the next few weeks?
Look, it's probably the toughest period of the season. There's we've had probably the two best teams in the competition back to back. Glasgow, Leinster. After Leinster, we've obviously got Stad, Zebra first, Stad twice, and then into the derby. So it's 10 weeks of, you know, full on top competition. So it's look, it's who we want to be competing with, and I think throughout this period we'll have the opportunity, as I said, the last couple of weeks to blood some youngsters. Next week we should get some of the internationals dripping back in. So it's an exciting period. You know, we want to play the top European teams, the top teams in the competition, and then nothing beats the Christmas derby. So it's you know, it's a tough run for coaches and players, but it's a very exciting period as well. It probably defines the season. You know, the next 10 weeks. You know, if you get a result against Stad or a couple of results against Stad, then you're in the mix in Europe to go into knockout stages. Plus, you know, the derbies in particular, it kind of starts shaping the second half of the season. So it's vitally important.
If I may, just talk about Wales' performance on the weekend, particularly the Ospreys, Adam Beard and Owen Watkin. What do you think of their performance, particularly Owen's defensive output there?
Yeah, he loves that. I think he got 5 turnovers. Sean's been in today actually, and he was purring or growling about Owen. But that's his point of difference. Owen, he's very good at ripping ball. I think in general, I think all of the boys that have gone away have come out with some credit. So Aled Davis did really well when he came on, I thought. Adam Beard has been really consistent, and obviously Justin Tipperick's been man of the match on 2 occasions. So I think against Australia it was 5 of the Ospreys pack. So look, it's a credit to the players, and it's been really good to see them go onto the international stage and show the form that they were having with the Ospreys. So it's brilliant.
Warren Gatland's saying this is the most competitive squad he's had in his era. Does that give credit to the regions, or kind of due credit where it's worth there?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. I think in credit to the national squad, they've not been scared of giving young players a chance. So obviously in the last 18 months, 24 months, they've blooded people like Thomas Williams and Seb Davis, and so I know Nicky's a little bit more experienced, but him getting a start, I think they've really rewarded regional form, and what that's done is it's improved younger players, it's improved those fringe players, and it's bred some really healthy competition. So you look at this week against South Africa, it must be a nightmare trying to pick the team, which is a position obviously the coaches want to be in. So there's some really tough calls for the coaches, but going into World Cup year, that's exactly where they want to be, and credit for them for building the squad as they have.
And just a note on Justin Tipperick, he obviously the last couple of seasons kind of in the shadows in some respect in terms of players being played for him, and I know Alan Clark's heard about him as, I use your expression, in previous seasons, and so is the world of rugby really. Can you just give us kind of your view on him finally getting the plaudits that he deserves?
I'll be honest with you, I think it's probably just maybe in the press and media is where he hasn't had that, and knowing Tips for a short time, I don't think he craves that anyway. He's happy to be kind of in the background. Whenever I've coached against him, I coached him in the autumn a couple of years ago. He's genuinely, from my point of view, he's the best player I've ever coached. He can do a bit of everything, so he's a good attacker, he's a good defender, as he's shown the last couple of weeks. He can win ball in line-outs, he can get turnovers. For me, he's the best all-round player that I've coached by a margin as well.
But do you think he's had the kind of, how can we put it, at the Wales level, do you think he's been unlucky in that respect then, in the games he hasn't played?
Yeah, well, he's got 70 caps, so he's a British Lion, so he's done all right. I think there's more of him to show as well, if I'm honest with Wales. I think he's probably got a lot of plaudits for his defensive work in the last couple of weeks, which is obviously, Sam Warburton's point of difference really, and I think Tips has filled into that role and won turnovers and been, a real destructive defender. But for us at the Ospreys, we use him slightly differently. We use him at first receiver off line out, and he's probably in the middle of our attack a little bit more. So, and I'm sure Wales will show that over the next 12-18 months as well. So he's been brilliant, but there's probably another 20-30% that he can show as well.
And this media needs to big him up a bit more, is that what you're saying?
Oh no, I don't think he'd like that anyway.
Sorry, and just one last word on Steve Tandy's been given the defensive coaching role at Sherratt in Australia. Thoughts on him getting that position?
Oh, it's fantastic, it's brilliant. I think what's really nice to see is something going the other way as well. There's obviously a lot of Southern Hemisphere coaches in Northern Hemisphere, so to see what is a very, very experienced and good young Welsh coach going over to Super Rugby, well, firstly it's fantastic for Steve, but I also think it's brilliant for Northern Hemisphere coaches, because it kind of gives other people a pathway. So delighted for Steve, fantastic place to work and live, and I'm sure he'll be a massive success over there and come back an even better coach than he was.